Where can you go and meet hundreds of people just like you, strengthen existing relationships and forge new ones with vendors and distributors, and meet some of the biggest names in the industry, where you can go and see the newest tech and services that you need to make your IT business grow. And there'll be thousands of pounds worth of prizes up for grabs. Then what's more, you'll get that for £1. TechMax 2023 will be on the 23rd of June at Magna Adventure and Science Centre near Meadowhall in Sheffield. This event will be over 4 times larger than last year's event, and this year's event will incorporate a live tech awards, dedicated meeting rooms, demo and interactive areas, and up to 800 other techs just like you. Get registered now at tftmax.com. Where can you go and meet hundreds of people just like you, strengthen existing relationships and forge new ones with vendors and distributors, and meet some of the biggest names in the industry, where you can go and see the newest tech and services that you need to make your IT business grow. And there'll be thousands of pounds worth of prizes up for grabs. Then what's more, you'll get that for £1. TechMax 2023 will be on the 23rd of June at Magna Adventure and Science Centre near Meadowhall in Sheffield. This event will be over 4 times larger than last year's event, and this year's event will incorporate a live tech awards, dedicated meeting rooms, demo and interactive areas, and up to 800 other techs just like you. Get registered now at tftmax.com.
You're watching Tech Talk in affiliation with Tech for Techs. We're a community that supports independent trade with the help of vendors and distributors. We're live every Thursday at 8 p.m. London time, and we'll be streaming to Facebook, and YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. You can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon, Google, TuneIn, and many more. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, and your host, Philip Griffiths.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Tech for Tech's Tech Talk. This is a live show where we help your IT business grow. Today, I'm joined by
Jenny, and we are your hosts for today.
Nice one. So this episode, we're going to be talking about tools, or your software or hardware tools. So let me just let Cormac back in because he's been a bit of a pain tonight already, and we've not even started. So right, okay. So let's go before we do anything. If anyone is coming up in the chat, I'm just turning the chat on. Make sure you click on that link I've just put on the screen. So it's chat.restream.io/FB, and I'll just put it on the screen there. If you go to that website, it'll allow your name to be shown and you won't be called Facebook user. So, right. So, first of all, let's go over to number one. So, Jen, if you want to introduce yourself, let everyone know who you are, what you do, any stories, tips for today.
Hi, I'm Jenny, and some people call me Mrs. TFT. Well, that could be because Mr. TFT is sitting right here. But basically, I'm the one that edits the video content that you see. I give Phil a few ideas here and there for the content as well. And I do a lot of the behind the scenes work that Phil doesn't want to do. So.
She's selling herself short. She does a lot of the advertising side of things, like marketing. She obviously gets a lot of the people who are coming to the event sorted, so all the finances and all the bits and bobs like that. So she does a lot more than she lets on, to be honest with you. Right. Okay. What's your tip for today then, or story?
Well, I have a story, and it comes from the app side of technology. Apps are our friends in many ways. However, Tesla owners didn't have a very happy Valentine's Day due to theirs. Their apps went down, leaving Europe and America, some of their drivers unable to charge their cars. So it goes that they got a error 503 service maintenance error. Oopsie. I would have hated to have been a Tesla owner and needing to charge my car at that moment. It said that it started out in America and then it spread to Europe. And China drivers were unaffected.
Coincidence or not? Who knows?
Balloons to let Tesla cars.
Yeah, you never know. Don't get too much into it. You never know what'll come up. Right, okay. So, right, let's quickly go to the chat before we introduce the other guests. So we've got evening all. So hi there. I'm down for some reason. I don't know. There seems to be a buggy
It's
note
mine.
tonight.
It's mine. It's okay.
Don't worry about it. It's a spare one. So we've got obviously start again. We've got Peter saying hi all. How you doing, Peter? We've got Alison from EADR saying good evening. And we've gone now. Here we go. It's going to be one of those nights. Let's start again. So we got Peter Whitehouse saying evening all. We've got Alison Cook saying good evening, happy Thursday. Hope you all had a good weekend. I did personally, or a good week. Sorry, not weekend, but yeah, we're nearly at the weekend
had a good
already.
Valentine's Day, actually.
Yeah, did you? Yeah. You should tell me about it.
Oh, you weren't there.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, so we got Dan. So that's going to be Dan from CMS Distribution, I'm presuming, because he likes to go without his logo. So hi Dan, I'm glad you like the new studio. We've also got Facebook user saying evening. So again, for anyone who is on there, let me just put it on the screen again. As Facebook user, you need to basically click on the link, which I'm going to put on the screen, or at least type it in so you can actually be found. It's scrolling up across the bottom of the screens right at this moment. Next, we've got Rich saying evening from Rich and Haley at Phase 4 Computers. Hi, guys. Nice to see you watching. Let's have a look. Lots to think about on the show. And again, Facebook user, click the link if you can. We've got Hi All, another Facebook user saying good evening. And we've also got user saying good evening as well. So unless it's the same one just repeating itself 100 times, who knows? But right, okay. So let's go on to Will first while I try and sort out the camera issues what are glitching over here. So Will, do you want to introduce yourself? Let everyone know who you are, what you do, and if you've got any tips and stories for us today.
Hi folks, I'm Will from Consumer Tech based in Dunfermline, Scotland. Quite a nice chilly night tonight, but it's kind of raining a little bit here in Scotland, so it's pretty much the same everywhere. My tech tip story tonight is about an Android update. For those who use Android, they've updated their user interface from 4 to 5, and there's quite a good feature that's involved with your notifications. Now, it's hidden, so I wasn't aware of it myself until I found it earlier on. So if you go into the settings of your phone and then go to notifications, then into notification pop-up style, you've got little, and then down to edge lighting. So basically around the edge of your phone lights up when you get notifications. But you can now change it to little firework displays, edge lighting, rainbow coloured lighting, just a fancy wee feature. Quite like it. Just something different. I don't think Cormac's see-through phone can do that, but you never know. If it's Android based, it might. But yeah, it's quite a good wee feature on the Android phone. So settings, notification, and then into your edit lighting style, and it gives you little fancy notifications and different things like that. Colourful. That's what we need in this society, especially with our state of growing costs. So something colourful and cheery to go on about.
There we go. Nice one for that.
What phone do you have, Will?
The Samsung S,
What phone is
Samsung
that?
Note 20.
Yeah, don't be calling me up my phones, mate. If you got some sort of lights that come on the front of the phone, whoopie do that. This is the nothing phone, man. This lights up
Nothing.
everyone's life. This is
Very
we'll
true,
have a phone
Cormac. Very
off
true.
a Tech Max, all right? But no, we'll have a phone
Right,
off a Tech Max anyway.
While you're on the screen,
The camera. Yeah, this is, lads, if anyone's watching, how many tech people does it take to run a show? We're having a good laugh here tonight.
Exactly.
I can get
So,
my
Cormac, while you're on
Wi-Fi
screen, introduce yourself.
Right, I'm Cormac from Crosshaven Computers. My tech tip there, and I can see Peter there is going to be rolling his eyes on this one. But actually, if anyone's starting out migrating emails, email addresses, I'm telling you, G Suite is the way to go. I was doing the one this morning. I was up early. Alison, I said I was up even before you, and I was in the gym early, but I started work around 6:30. I was doing a migration. I've done it quite a few times. Just some old email addresses from old local servers kind of job onto G Suite. And I actually got into, I don't know, I've done it loads of times. I got into a bit of trouble around 8 o'clock. And I am, Alison, at around 8 o'clock. And I rang Google support. And they came in and screen shared with me. And it was all done. Fabulous tech. She was brilliant. And it was all done in 20 minutes. And I would have figured it out, but I was under pressure and I was tired anyway. I made a mistake anyway. And I was like, oh, I'm so happy, G Suite. They were just so if you're doing your first migrations, going that way. My second thing is if anyone has any doubts on why you should charge a diagnostic fee, I'll tell you a 30-second story. My mood wasn't good today, but you know when you're kind of saying stuff in your head, but you're saying different stuff to the customers, you never want to kill someone, but you're still being all polite. Some lady rang me up around 2:30 today, and she said, "Hi, could I fix up?" She's had a 9-year-old Mac with a 9-year-old Apple Mac screen. I didn't even know Apple done screens. I told her that out straight. And I said, look, I said, that's very old. I said, and if you bring it into the shop, there's going to be a €45 diagnostic charge. You might be better off just getting yourself a second-hand monitor. And she goes to me, this is what she said to me. She said she was after bringing it to the Apple shop in my city, and they were after saying their stuff was too old, and she was after paying them a diagnostic fee, and she didn't fancy paying another diagnostic fee. And I said, okay. And she said, maybe I could call out to her house to look at it. And I said, well, it's €45 for it to bring in. If you want me to go to your house, it's €95. And lo and behold, she decided she didn't want anything to do with it. But my point is that she was willing to, I don't know, because she paid someone a diagnostic fee, she was like, oh, I'm not going to pay. She would have just arrived up and I could have spent an hour trying to sort that out for nothing. Also the cheek of her. Anyway, That's my story today.
You weeded out the less desirable customer.
Completely. Well, who does she think she did? And I was going to call. And by the way, she knew about me. She's from my village, but she still went up to Apple. She paid them. It's an Apple outlet store. Paid them a fee, and then was like, well, I won't pay the local person a fee because I've paid someone else a fee. Not a hope in hell. Not a hope. This is why we need to have a diagnostic fee, so people don't bring their junk just for you to play around with for an hour or two. Not a hope in hell.
Yeah, well, obviously your time's worth money. It's obviously a skill as well. So it's not just your time; it's all the time it's taught you to learn how to do these things.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Let's quickly go over the chat. So we've got John saying "Evening all." We've also got Brad at Target. So that's Target Components saying "Hi guys." So and we've got Alison saying "No chance," and Kyle saying "Good evening" as well. Right. Let's get over onto information or news. So let's start off is with Microsoft. It's a Chat GPT one, unfortunately, and Microsoft says talking to Bing for too long can cause it to go off the rails.
Cause you to go off the rails.
Well, yeah, it can do. Basically, the search engine was insulting users, lying to them, and emotionally manipulating people as well. So obviously, you probably have to tweak about with what you're saying to it to get it to actually do these sort of things. But it's not a good start, especially if this thing's going to take over the world and rule us all one day. It does seem to be struggling a little bit. So let's put it that way. And obviously, different things are going to
but
happen.
Are the flakes in the first place that are going off the rails about what's being said that couldn't take one night of a gaming session with us with some of the content that we talk about because it does get deep in games, or are they actually legit complaints?
Yeah, good point. Again, guys, if you are watching, sorry, this camera seemed to be going on and off randomly for whatever reason. Who knows? But there we go. But yeah, good point there. So, right. Okay, so let me go on to TFT News before we do anything else. So, we've got...
Are people still seeing us out there?
Guys, if you're watching, let us know if you can see us and hear us. If you can't, then obviously let us know, and we probably won't see it. But I'm pretty sure you can. Richard Creedy, evening to you as well. It says it's late, so someone's resharing the chat restream. So people must be seeing and hearing us. I think we're just having a few slight technical difficulties with the streaming software. It seems to be kicking cameras out and causing a bit of lag now and again. So again, guys, if you are watching, let us know if you can hear and see us, please.
I don't think they can. Would someone type there, Alison, if you can see us, will you type into the chat there?
I don't see Cormac myself.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's there.
I got a message there. Well, we might still be on air, folks, but I think I got a message off Alison saying that she can see us.
I can see Phil just now.
I don't see Cormac.
Okay, so let me. So we're having troubles with playing this video. Let me end the stream and restart it again. Yeah. Oh no! So we've got loud and clear.
All right, let's carry on.
Well, it seems to be working. So, okay, guys, if you can hear us, let us know. Seems like we're having quite a few technical difficulties tonight. What was that, Cormac?
Phil's got the camera on him, so that's the reason you're seeing Phil and no one else.
Yeah, at the moment. So I'll sort the camera out in a few seconds. So hi all, Sharon at Eurosoft. So got you in view. She's on Facebook. We've got Blue Bolt can only see Phil. That's fine. Richard saying same and evening all. Right, okay,
Yeah.
so let me go to the Tech for Tech's news then, first of all, before anything else. So a pacer signs up to exhibit at TechMax. So if you've not used a pacer before, they sell obviously memory-based products, SSDs, stuff like that. So they will be exhibiting at TechMax along with quite a few others. If you
And
don't
we're
know
glad to
about
have them.
if you don't know about TechMax, one of the things you could do is obviously go to the website. So I'll put a QR code on the screen as well as the actual address, so you can scan that with your phone and it will take you there and you'll be able to read information. Also on top of that, we've also got PAX 8 exhibiting, but they're not only just exhibiting, they are the sponsor for the awards, which we're going to be doing at the event. So they're sponsoring their awards. So all the awards you're going to be winning and so forth will be sponsored by them. They're paying for it basically. So again, the awards, we will be starting those off with nominations starting next week. So a little bit earlier than usual, mainly because obviously the event, we're having the awards at the event this year. So the awards are going to be at TechMax. So and the nominations will start next week. But before we go any further, I have to show you one thing. Where can you go and meet hundreds of people just like you, strengthen existing relationships and forge new ones with vendors and distributors, and meet some of the biggest names in the industry, where you can go and see the newest tech and services that you need to make your IT business grow. And there'll be thousands of pounds worth of prizes up for grabs. Then what's more, you'll get that for a quid. TechMax 2023 will be on the 23rd of June at Magna Adventure and Science Centre near Meadowhall in Sheffield. This event will be over 4 times larger than last year's event, and this year's event will incorporate a live tech awards, dedicated meeting rooms, demo and interactive areas, and up to 800 other techs just like you. Get registered now at tftmax.com. Right, okay, so we've got myself twice there. There we go. Right, okay, so hopefully everyone can hear us and see us and everything now, so that's good. So, right, let's go on to the main topic. Let's get this started. So I'm going to start with Cormac first because he's got a few emergencies to do later, so he might have to end first. So, Cormac, what's your tool or software or hardware, whatever it is, you want to show everyone?
It's a loaded one.
Okay, all right. Tool that I want to show everyone. Actually, well, you got me up there because I thought we were talking in general about what are our best tools of the year, you know. So I'm gonna let Will go first there. Okay.
Okay, I'll take this one then, Cormac, just for you.
Good cover up, maybe. Take that one for a sec.
Yeah. Okay. My tech tool, I've got many. But I'll bring this one up first, simply because on Tech for Tech's group chat lately has been quite a few requests for password unlockers and things like that. You know, getting into computers, people's forgetting their passwords. So I use PC Unlocker 3.8, which has just been released. They claim to have 100% success rate. However, I've had one or two that's not worked, maybe out of 20 or 30. You know, but it's just possibly been down to a user problem myself. But yeah, so PC Unlocker, it's only just under £32 to purchase. So that's you getting it legitimately. You know, it's not there is a free version, but I'm not sure what the free version is going to give you. So £32 over the price of 12 months per year or whatever. Once you buy it, you get the free updates, etc. It's pennies for us. So it works from Windows Windows XP 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 and 11, and it enables you to basically boot to PC Unlocker and gets you into a prerequisite sort of Windows. Oh, right, we've lost Phil. Windows compatibility mode, and it allows you to get into administrator password and change it or remove it. Also local users, and I believe it can also take a Microsoft account and put it to a local user account, so you could get in and you know, remove passwords.
So if it's locked to a Microsoft account, you can break it that way, can you?
Yeah, well, it's first and foremost, it would allow you to remove or change the password for administrator. Then you could get into the administrator settings and then change it from a Microsoft account back to a local account, which means that you're not looking for the Microsoft password to log into it, or create yourself as a user and change it over. So I've had quite good success for it. There's a couple other ones out there that I'll mention throughout the show tonight, which is part of Hermes boot up CD.
Yeah, Iron's boot. Yeah,
Hirons, or however you pronounce it.
yeah. We all pronounce it differently.
Yeah, so that's quite a good tool as well. It's got many functions on it, many freeware, and again, it's free to download and use, because it gives you the free versions. So we're not breaking any sort of license laws and things like that.
Yeah, I think Hiron's kind of upped its game. I think, or whenever a few years ago, it was full of stuff you were, I suppose, not technically not meant to use, and then it kind of came back strong, and people began talking about it because I think it's mostly the free versions that I haven't had call to use it for a while yet, but I remember back in the day,
got a good feature in it. What I found is if you load it up and then into the search bar, type in password, and it's got two password removals. One is, let's see if I pronounce this correctly, is it Larvasoft? Can't remember the name of it, but it's there. And the other one is Windows password unlocker, which allows you again to change from a Microsoft account to a local user, which is very handy.
What I also love about Hiron's boot is that it's bootable live Windows. Now, I don't use any of the tools inside there, but I hate taking laptops apart. I know that's a kind of strange thing in our field, but like if someone came to me maybe with a lock password like that, ideally, I forgot about that, but I must buy that tool you said. But in general, I'll just boot into a live Windows Hiron's boot or something, a live tin, run a live stick, and then I'll put in fabs and I'll take all the data off that way and do a clean install. Now, your way is more ideal. If Sergey, that's another one I can't pronounce. How's your Russian? Can you pronounce Sergey? That one there.
Sergey Strelic.
Yeah. That. Actually, here's one. Did you feel Will, did you hear of that? Because thank you for giving me the opportunity to think of a tool. I appreciate that. That's great live shows there. Do you use SIW hardware info?
I think I've used it once or twice before, but I forget about it.
Yeah, so, I use it. I use it I buy the license every year, and again, it's only €25 or something. Yeah, and what I find the best part of that is, we'll say, even when I was doing the migration today, now it lists all the hardware on the computer, etc., etc. It lists loads of stuff that I don't even use. But what I really like in general, if it's Outlook, if it's a local Outlook account saved to the computer, it will give me the Outlook accounts if you are doing, if you're upgrading, we'll say, from Outlook 13 to Office 365, and you're switching over a computer, because the customer will. I never trust a customer if he gives me a password or she gives me, not a hope. I won't. They're lying to me without a chat. But you can be there for hours, especially when you were doing it the old-fashioned way of trying to get into, the way you're trying to get Outlook to work again, and it keeps failing, and it's just going to the server, and you're just losing your word, and it's like that's SIW. I think it's only around £30 a year.
Yeah, that's a good one as well. I need to remember it. I mean, for the best money that you'll ever spend as a tech, for me, is buying fabs. For €50.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah,
I was going to say, that's well worth its money. Yeah. That's worth its weight in gold, actually. I think he charges
way
too little for the product.
But Will said a great point there as well. PC Locker, I think you said it's only around £30, yeah?
PC Unlocker,
and even back in the day, 32. Even back in the day, a few years, when we didn't have money as such, I remember a guy working with me said, sure, we can torrent that. And first of all, for say £30, you want to give the person who's inventing it, you want to give them the money. But also, why it's important not to torrent them, and I'm not the torrent police, is that if you're out in the field or something, you need these things to work. You don't
Yeah.
need a dodgy, or you don't need to throw anything else into the mix. You want known working copies of everything. That's how you do stuff. You want known working copies, and for the sake of 30 quid, just go away and buy the thing. And also,
Exactly.
you're helping the person who invented it. You know.
The Facebook user there is corrected me. That's it. It's Nursoft software,
Oh
which is
yeah.
on the Hearn's book CD. That's a good one. But yeah, PC Unlocker. I downloaded it the first time I remember and put it onto a USB stick, and it didn't work for me. But it was a user problem. It's something I hadn't formatted the USB to its correct format for compatibility. So got it working, and it works within a few minutes. You know, put it up, change it, save it, bish bash bosh, job done.
Oh.
And it's £32. Like you said, if you get a customer where you're going out charging £45 call out fee and you're unlocking their password at home, a couple of those call out fees pays for it back. Just like Fab's Auto, you know, you make your money back on that easily. And
You also
You
look
do.
cool. You look like
You
a
make your
hacker as
money
well.
back with fabs on one job.
oh yeah, definitely, Jenny, definitely.
I mean, one job is all it takes. I'm a firm believer in that. People used to come in my store, and if I thought it was a dodgy drive or something that it was going to be major, I'd back up their contents without even saying a word. And I mean, the time that it takes is
Yeah.
minute. Oh my gosh. You remember you used to have to copy and paste and do all of this tedious work and hope and pray and light a candle and do weird hand
Yeah.
gestures and but Fabs, that I mean, it's backing up their passwords, their favorites, and all of that. Oh, I can't, and all the updates that he comes out with and lets us know about. He's really good
It's
to
on the
work
ball.
with
Yeah.
as Fabric. Yes, he is. And another tool that's really good, and I couldn't live without when we had the shop, and we still use it here at Tech for Techs, and that is PC Check by Eurosoft. If you want
Oh yeah. Yeah.
diagnostics done right, you need PC Check. I'm a firm believer in it.
Yeah, it's an expensive
Well, what I
software,
love
I must
about
admit, but it's well worth the money.
but
So
it,
I'm sorry,
yeah, but
Cormac, go ahead.
what I like about it, all right, is like if a cost comes into us, all right, and if we're charging a €45 diagnostic fee or whatever, yeah, I print off the full report with them.
Yeah.
We handed it back with them, sellotape to 10. It looks like they're getting a report. It looks a lot of the times
It
they just put
does.
in the sick away and it's there.
It's
Now we're
not.
printed off, and then you go, there you go. There's a report, and
It's
it looks
not
like
what
they're
was
getting a
wrong with
money.
it. My hard drive failed. I think it was this. It's none of you stuttering and stammering trying to make up something. It's this is what our findings are. If you would like to get it repaired, this is how much it's going to cost. Blah blah blah. And
Yeah.
they feel better when you hand them a report of what you have found out and what you did to correct it at the end of the job. It just looks a lot better and more professional
Yeah,
when you give them a report.
Yeah. I've spoke to Sharon
yeah.
a few times, but I had the pleasure of meeting herself at Tech for Tech last year. It's I've she's given me a free trial of it and things like that, and it's definitely good for what you use it for. Unfortunately, I'm not. I don't get that many repairs in like that for me to justify paying for it. But it's
Yeah.
certainly worthwhile if you're doing repairs constantly, like you guys are doing or we're doing in the shop. Certainly worthwhile getting it, and it's good that it does give you a report. Definitely.
It's
Are you
also a good
using
tool for doing what Tech for Text does because we're trying to push things to their max and find out
Yeah.
what really is going on with a drive or RAM or whatever. And you don't have time to sit there and do a RAM test. You
Yeah.
really don't. Those are painful on the best of times. But these PC check will just go through, just check everything. Or I mean, it's a wonderful tool. Yeah, it's pricey, but you know, if you need something like this, you get what you pay for.
Well, the thing is, Jenny, it may be pricey, but look at their support as well. Their support
Yeah,
is really good. You know, they come back to you, and you've got to remember when you're paying for a piece of software, you're not just paying for the use of the software. It's all the development behind it. It's all the people's time they put into
customer
developing it
service.
and the software and customer service. Yeah, and Sharon and her
And
husband are
Sharon's
lovely.
great about
Yeah,
that.
See,
You can tag in Sharon if you're
see
having an
there.
issue, and you can go to her and say, "Look, Sharon, I need some assistance,"
yeah.
and she's on the ball. I got to say, she does do a lot for her company.
There we go.
Richard
So
there
I think.
and Kyle.
Sorry, what was that, Cormac?
Sorry. Richard and Kyle, which is fair enough. They're kind of saying the customer wouldn't know what to do with the report. I appreciate that. Now it's a 13-page report. I don't give a 13-page report. I give the first 3 pages, and there's 5 tests with hard drive, blah blah blah, 5 of them, and I highlight those and I'll mark the ones that
Yeah,
they won't. They might look at it. They certainly won't look at it. I don't look at the 13 pages myself. I can care less. But
no,
while we have our logo printed on the front of it, what they do know is that it's adding a layer of professionalism to the thing. And you can point out the 5 things. You can point out, look, your hard drive has failed. It has failed the test. Would you like to upgrade to a thing? Or we have to proceed by data and doing all that,
yeah,
which, you know, this and that. They see it there rather than a guy just coming in the counter and going, right, that's 30 quid, mate, or 45 quid, thanks very much. You know, for me,
yeah.
now, lads, and obviously Richard and I ain't having to go. It's just, they have a point, because when my mechanic hands me his reports, I'm like, I don't care, man. But in my head, I am walking away, and he's giving me something, piece of paper, for all the
There's
paper
always
I'm
that
giving
one
him, you
customer
know.
as well.
Exactly.
There's always that one customer that wants a specific reason why the computer's broken, and if that report is helping them to understand it better, then worth it. What's a piece of paper? You know what I mean? It's
One last comment as well. What I do, I love handing it out to customers on the way back out. So when they go out, you say that here, look, that computer, if you're selling refurbished one or even new ones, I'll hand them out a report with all of them.
Yeah.
And then if they come back, because they will, sometimes things can always go wrong. And they come back a week later and they go, oh, something, the computer failed. And you say, oh my God, damn, that passed all the reports. Something there's a gremlin or something. Sorry about that. But as you saw, it did pass all the reports. I will fix that and take care. That gives you kind of a shield, which makes it like we all make mistakes. Or things can just happen in computers, but at least you're saying, yes, this is it. It has passed all the tests. It's working. Sorry about that. Especially on a refurbished laptop, it's bloody well handy when you're sending them out, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree with you guys there. One of the things what we do when we've built a machine is actually do a stress test using PC check, do a 48-hour one, so it stresses it completely for 48 hours, because with any components, the chance they're going to fail is it's more than likely while it's within a few hours old, or even a couple of days, or once it gets really old. That period in between is generally not usually high. So there's a high chance at the beginning and the end of its life it's going to fail. Obviously, the end of its life, as in usually several years. But then at least you can keep a report on your PC and service logs and stuff. It's got all the components what are inside it as well. So you know exactly what's inside it. You could keep it in your system. Obviously, you've got something like Synchro or Repair Shop or whatever it may be, and you can keep the reports for future reference. We usually print the reports off, put it in the box for the motherboard, for the PCs. That way, the customer's got a list of all the components and everything in there. A bit like Cormac was saying, that if you can basically turn around and say, look, you can see that we've done the testing. Here it is.
It's also good to have for if they bring it back under warranty and you say, bring that motherboard box in, that we gave you as well. Usually they don't go in there. They leave that box to the side and it never gets gone in. And you can open it up and you can pull that sheet out and see how you built it to spec. And if there's anything changed inside that machine, added RAM, taken out RAM, something different that you didn't put in there, or however a record of it in your records with this customer, then you know they've voided their warranty.
Mm-hmm.
So that's insurance for you.
Yeah, good point. Let's move on from Eurosoft, otherwise we'll be here all day.
Well, we could praise it all night, couldn't we?
Exactly. So, well, it's another Eurosoft product. A few people have mentioned Zero Data, which is ideal for wiping drives and stuff, military grade and stuff. If you are reusing a machine and you are keeping the same drive, it's advisable you do that, or you're destroying stuff. Personally, I don't like keeping the drives in machines. If I'm going to supply a machine to someone, even refurbished, I'll replace a drive anyway, especially for the price of them these days. But obviously, it's an option there for people if they do want to resell drives and stuff like that.
I think we've got Sharon commenting in the chat. I guess that's Facebook user there.
I say that's
to the TNT group. We always present your PC check findings and comments to our customers, and brag about Phil and Jenny and the King of Ireland, Will, Ben Ashcroft, and others as regular contributors to the future advancement. All your points tonight are the reasons that they've been popular for 40 years. Thank you for the commitment. Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah, so that goes to show how they want to engage as well with the community and people like themselves. Eurosoft's watching the show tonight.
Yeah.
They want to see our
We didn't know that. We did not stage this. We didn't
know. Don't get me wrong. I know that they do watch quite often, but so that's it. So I'll contact you after the show, Sharon, and I'll have a few quid off you for the
Just ask her if you could click on the restream chat first of all.
That's
well, moving on. Sorry.
Will, question for you. Do you use? I know. Jen and Phil does. Do you use Malwarebytes Tech Bench?
Yeah, I've got it on my tool list. I've not subscribed in the last year actually, so I've found other tools to use. But I like it. I do like it. Yeah, it's
a good product.
Handy, yeah.
I was gonna bring that one up as well, Cormac. So you beat me to it.
Yeah.
So what's your impression recently?
Well, my impression, I think, will you and me will match on this one. I love Malwarebytes Tech Bench. Love it. It's the first thing on every computer. It's different. I'll put it in. It'll give a quick thing of the hard drive. Tell me inside, very quick thing. Virus scans, blah blah. Take up junkware. Problem being with it, and I think Phil's going to agree with me. Since Alex Smith left, who was the brains behind, I think was the brains behind it, and was active in the group as well, and and I mean this in a nice way, an all-round tech nerd, and I mean the most complimentary way. You can see interactions, I'd say most people did there, and he does live for tech, and he moved company, okay, so he's not with Malwarebytes now anymore, and I had said I hadn't seen it being updated at all, and before Christmas the junkware remover, it's called. The junkware remover tool it wasn't working on it. Now I got onto my rep there. Now I'm paying 300 quid for this tool a year, and I got onto my rep, and they were very helpful. It took nearly a month for that tool to be fixed. Now it's one of the main tools inside it. That wouldn't have happened in Alex's day. It wouldn't have happened at all. Now the way I'm looking at it is I don't think it's a money earner for them, and I think they're going to let it die. Now I hope when it die, I hope they'll do the decent thing. Now this is just me, because I hope they'll say, right, we won't, we're not updating it, but we'll still let you run it, okay? As in, I hope they don't knock it off dead. But I'd be very disappointed. I love it. I don't use your view, Phil.
Yeah, pretty much the same, to be honest. It feels like they've abandoned it. The only updates are the definitions for the security scans. Otherwise, I can't recall the last time I saw them add anything in. I think the last thing they added in was they added integration of fabs in there, which we've already spoke about. They allowed you to use fabs directly from it.
2 years ago, wasn't it? Yeah.
But that's a while ago now.
It feels like a neglected child to me.
So
but it's a crazy good deal.
Yeah,
but it's a crazy good deal because they give you 20 licenses.
It used to be one of the first tools I would pick up on my bench, depending on what I was doing. I
But
had
if
two go-to
tell me if you're
tools.
not
Sorry, Cormac?
if you're not using that, what do you use? If you're not using that, so it comes into the shop. Well, if the computer comes into you, or Jenna, if you're not using TechBrand, it comes in. What tool do you use to check the hard drive?
If I would use PC check if I didn't use that.
Yeah. Generally, we use PC check to check our drives. That's the main thing. If you wanted something quick, I'd use something like Crystal Disk Mark
Yeah.
Otherwise, for a quick check, or even HD Tune. It's a bit
I
old
just
now.
I don't put a lot of stock though in free programs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're going to get what you pay for
Yeah.
on diagnostics tools.
And also, one thing where a lot of people you've got to remember as well, using free tools a lot of the time is actually against the terms and conditions if you're using it for commercial use.
Yeah.
So if you are repairing machines, that's classed as commercial use, or putting up people's machines, that's commercial use. So a lot of things like UVK, which is quite popular, even though you pay for that. A lot of the tools what come with it, I think they have a tool program as well. A lot of the things in there you're not actually paying for the license to use the tools in there. They're all free versions.
Yeah,
so
they had free Kaspersky and things like that, and there was free.
Yeah, there was Malwarebytes and different things.
Yeah,
like that
there was all
well,
sorts of free tools in it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the concept of UVK is a good concept.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they're using free tools within a paid for tool, I frown on that.
Yeah.
If they had gotten with the vendors and said, right, what we can do is form one tool that allows people to use multiple of this. Would you like to sign in with us and partner with us?
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a lot better.
Yeah, that's a good point. Guys, just a heads up, if you were finding that it seems like we're over talking each other, it's because there's a bit of lag. So basically, you can tell sometimes when we ask Cormac a question, he doesn't reply for about 3 or 4 seconds, and vice versa. So it's just a bit of lag. It's not that we're really being
we're not being rude
or anything like that. So it's just the lag causes a few issues. It's a bit like in the olden days, shall we say, when we used to use old phones and call international, and there used to be a bit of a lag. We're getting that sort of lag at the moment. I think it's down to the software and maybe internet connection issues, but we'll see. Right, let's go on to more tools then. So
to hardware. Let's get into hardware.
I'll come up with the first one. Let's have a look.
I've got mine sitting here, one of them.
I like this tool. This is a Wow Stick. I don't know if anyone's using it. Some people like them, some don't. You do have to, when you're using it, give it a little bit of a pressure to start it off. But it's basically a mini electric screwdriver with a light on the end. Ideal for laptops. Comes with loads of different ends on it. We love these. I love this, to be honest with you. I use it on all the small devices. And saying that, something I didn't think I'd like, we're doing on larger objects. And this is actually from Linus Tech Tips, so LTT store screwdriver. They're going on about them non-stop, whatever. I got one in. I was like, I'm not sure if I like it.
Does it fit my hand?
I absolutely love it. It's a ratcheting screwdriver. You've got all your bits in the head, so you can change the bits, pull them out. The magnet on it is absolutely brilliant. So it probably doesn't.
I like the concept,
but to give you the idea. So it's absolutely brilliant. I must admit, I'm using this 90% of the time when I'm taking things out of the PC or building a PC up, to be honest, rather than traditional screwdrivers. So I must admit, I am liking this.
I like the concept of the Linus, but it's just so huge in my hand that I can't function with it. And I guess that brings me to what I do like when I'm working on things. Draper tools. Can't live without them. I have a little box here, and funnily enough, one of them's missing. Probably the one I use the most. Or this could be Phil's. I think it's actually Phil's box. Okay. But we've got 4 boxes around here of Draper tools. And these are great for when you're working on a laptop. These little screwdrivers, honestly, they have great little magnetic tips. So when you take the screw out, it doesn't just fall everywhere. Mm-hmm. You can pick up the screw with it, put it to the side. Lovely. they are good tools. They last a long time. They don't bend. I mean, they're hard wearing.
I'm going to
Another,
welcome to Black.
pardon?
Me, I've nothing to add to this. I'm going to let Will, because I don't do any hardware, man. I have someone else.
Right.
Will take it over. I know nothing about hardware, man.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Jen? Sorry.
Another thing that I use in repairs is a set by Padersey, Padarcey, and what it is a black toolkit, and it has a blue edge on it, and it's got inside everything you'll ever need to work on a laptop. It's got things to prise open your plastics with. It even has, guess what? The wrist straps. Yeah, you got your wrist straps. You got to have those. And inside there is a huge selection of screwdriver heads and so forth. There's brushes for cleaning. There's uh, tweezer-like things to pick up, and it's just on and on. There's things in there I don't even know what it's for, but I had to have it, and I put it on the side when we had the store. And on it, it said, "Do not touch these, Phil. They're mine." And if he moved them, I'd be like, "You touched them. Those are mine. Leave them be." Because like these draper tools, one's missing. That's how I know that Phil's had them. One's
mine.
missing. So
My set's upstairs, so no.
yeah,
not
you
mine.
probably took my screwdriver out to fill yours.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
We'll
that
talk
another
about that
time.
later.
What
But
was
yeah,
what was the name of the set, Jenny, again, that you were just talking about?
Padersey, Padarcey, and they're under 20 pounds for the set.
That's
And
good.
it's tools for Padersey 79-in-1 precision screwdriver set with magnetic driver kit, professional electronics repair tool kit, PC, Mac, laptop, Xbox, iPhone, game console.
And so on.
Because
So
I've
it
been
was,
using the iFixit kit. That's quite good. I've got to watch with my hands. I have terrible hands with fibromyalgia, so it gives me a good
yeah.
grip, for holding them and things like that. But that sounds like a good kit you've got yourself.
Like if you have problems with your hands, like I do, I've got carpal tunnel. You need something that's comfortable, and those are. I highly recommend it if you've got someone that with problems with hands. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And one
Yeah,
last
give it a
thing
bash.
I'm going to mention, and I'll move it over to Will. Cormac says sound is very bad. Is anyone else having any issues with the sound listening to us, or any of us?
Probably, Phil, it's probably
okay.
me. I don't know. I'm going to have to go anyway with my washing machine, man. So I'm going to let you go there. But the sound I can't hear anyway. So can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah, I
you.
can hear you.
I think it's all that
Go on.
Guinness you've been
I'll
drinking,
talk to you
Cormac.
later on. Go on. Oh,
See you later, Cormac.
Go on.
See
I'll
you.
talk to you soon. All right. Bye.
There we go. Now we got rid of the potato man, we can carry on. Right, okay. So another thing I like to use is magnetic, basically pads. So putting screws on and stuff like that, they're ideal. You'd be surprised how many people don't use these. I've got larger ones upstairs, so if you're taking a laptop to pieces, you can actually draw on the mat and show where all the holes are, put the right screws in the right
You get
place.
2 of those in my kit from Padersey.
All right.
You get 2 of them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty good things, to be honest.
So, hardware or not, but that sounds like a great kit for Jenny. That I'll need to order one out and try it. My favourite tool now that I cannot use without is the Zalman tool. For your ISOs and things like that. Fantastic. I mean, I've got one broke, unfortunately, but I've got a solid state drive into the Zalman tool for all my ISOs for loading up files and keeping all sorts of different files and tools and things onto it. So that's really good as well. I don't know if there's a newer model. I'll need to check on that if there's anything new. But I was struggling to find one to get delivered in the UK. They have to come over from China a lot, different things. So yeah, but yep.
Yeah,
all good.
I've always had issues getting hold of them. To be honest with you, I had one and it broke, and then I really struggled getting hold of another one. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
it took me months to find one.
They're not mega expensive, but they're definitely handy. I know a lot of people. You can make them up yourself on USB sticks and things like that, and it's just I love it. Take it everywhere. It's called my black box, magic black box. So it's great.
Yeah, I'll just put a picture on for people who are wondering what it is. Let's have a look. Here we go. Put it on the screen. There we go. So that's basically what it looks like. There's various versions of them around. So I think I had the V300, I think it was, or something like that. But basically, you put a 2.5-inch drive in there, so SSD ideally, or a traditional hard drive like laptop one if you wanted to. And basically, you can load it up with all your ISOs for all your programs, or should I say, like versions of Windows, anything you want to boot. I suppose you could put other stuff on there as well. So you can put like Windows 10, Windows 11, if you really want to do a 7, Mac software, whatever, Linux, however you want to pronounce it, on there as well. And then basically on the little screen, you select what you want to boot. So when you've got it plugged in the device, it works as if you're booting that thing. So it's basically like a multiple USB pens in one. So is the best way of putting it. So it's a brilliant tool if you can get hold of it. There are a few other versions of it around, so if you can't find that one, just look for similar numbers, and you should be able to find it. It's basically like an external hard drive where you can put loads of obviously CDs on. Gives you a rough idea. So yeah, definitely there. So any other tools you like to use?
Software wise, I love Synchro MSP. I see it as being a tool because it reports back statistics of your hardware. Does scans, obviously. I've got it set with scripts to do scans of the hard drive, etc. There's many RMM, remote monitoring management tools out there. Lots of them, but I've found Synchro to be good, especially because as well I've got good connections with customer services and the owners and things like that as well. So, and they're doing a fantastic referral fee just now as well, $500, which I'm just cashing in one at the end of this month. So it's my go-to for an EPOS system. It works for taking payments, EPOS tools, invoice, everything. Love it. So I'm still learning a lot to do with it as well. There's a lot of learning behind it, but I've invested in it, and I'm getting I'm starting to see a good return on it now, with putting the effort into it.
Yeah, it's good software, to be honest. I'm still using the old Rare Shopper, to be honest with you, which I think they're pretty much near enough discontinued.
Yeah.
I think they're just running it for people who are still using it. The only reason I haven't swapped over is because, obviously, as you know, we're mainly aiming now at just a few customers, call-out customers and stuff like that, rather than having the store and so forth. So it's something that I've not really wanted to put too much time swapping everything over. But I must admit, the options they've got, the tools you can tie in, like I think Emsisoft is one of them for the security and stuff like that. So I think there's a few other options as well you can in there, but Emsisoft, I must admit that I suppose you could really class Emsisoft as a tool in a way because it's a security program, but it's more something you'd resell. But having the option of selling it monthly and yearly and so forth is definitely a plus.
It's
for me
an easy sell, isn't it? It's very good, and I sell it with everything. I try and do it on its own, just as through Synchro as well, and also just as standalone for antivirus, anti-malware protection, etc. There's also a cyber function of it as well, so it's definitely good.
I like the way that Emsisoft is not so bloated out.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. It's not a heavy tool. It's simple. It's easy to use. It's got a clean, user-friendly interface, and it's not so much that it just bogs down your computer and uses all the resources up. It's not a resource hog.
Yeah,
and one of the good things is it's not constantly reminding you to resubscribe. You're coming to the end of it. All this nonsense.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah.
It
Good
sends
support
the
as well.
back to you. Definitely. Let's have a look. What other tools have I got? It's not really a tool, it's cleaning. Well, I suppose it's a cleaning tool or cleaning liquid. I absolutely love this cleaning liquid. I can't put it on screen because the camera's playing up. It's called Label Clean from AF, which stands for Advanced Technology Cleaning. But basically,
How?
I don't know. That's what it says on the tin. But anyway, so it's from a company called AF, and it's called Label Clean. One word. Basically, it will remove any marks like stickers, warranty stickers, anything like that off of machines. But not only that, I find it's absolutely brilliant for cleaning glass on the side of cases and stuff like that because it doesn't leave any residue. Normally, you spray stuff on the glass. Doesn't matter how many times you wipe it over, you end up with streaks all over it. And even been using it on some plastics as well, just to physically clean them. Okay, I probably wouldn't advise using it on delicate plastics or screens and stuff, but using it on a mouse earlier on, you know how mouse they get gunged up and stuff. We do a lot of photography and videos and stuff, and obviously I needed a mouse what matched a keyboard, which we were reviewing, to go with it and everything else. And it got a few bits stuck in it. Just basically put that on. Tried cleaning it with the normal cleaning stuff, just wouldn't come off. Put that on, give it a couple of minutes, and just wipe straight off. It's absolutely brilliant.
Isn't this the stuff that when we were moving studio,
Yeah,
we used to get the sound dampening things?
Yes.
All right, you see the sound dampening things behind us, the checkerboard. Well, we used that to break the adhesive that holds that on the wall.
Yeah, and it basically just comes off.
And it was just clean. He just put enough to get it moist, and then you just kind of do this number, and it just peels right off, and it doesn't damage the paint behind you.
It's absolutely brilliant.
It is.
Yeah, it's nothing worse than you get it's like when you take the little Intel stickers off if you're wanting to clean it, or some of them start to peel off and it leaves a sticky residue.
Yes.
It's for that. Yeah, definitely. Good tool.
I mean, we had sound dampening in the ceiling, on the wall, I mean, anywhere you can imagine. And we haven't gone that far this time, thank God. But it can't reach this high. But yeah, it was good when we had to move studio. That I don't know what we'd have done without it, really.
Right. Let's just quickly go through chat because we're getting towards the end of this show. So let's see what we've got. So we've got.
That's right, Richard Creedy. It is.
There we go. So orange oil based stuff. Yeah, that's it. It smells nice. It'll make your room smell really nice. And I wouldn't advise putting it on your hands if you've got a cut. But I'll tell you one thing, it does get rid of. If you've got thermal paste all over your hands and you can't get it off, that stuff, just put a bit on, rub your hands together and wash them. Comes straight off, to be honest. You're probably not supposed to use it for that, but it works.
Kind of like orange gojo when you're trying to get grease off of your hands using the orange gojo.
We've got someone asking about BIOS postboards / cards. So yeah, I've not really used those in many years myself either. I think Peter Whitehouse was saying, to be honest, I didn't find them work very good. It's basically a card you put in your PCI Express or PCI slot, and it basically usually tells you, comes with a little light on it, which will tell you all the problems with the CPUs, problems with the RAM, or whatever it is. I always found them a little bit inconsistent, to be honest, when I tried them. The amount of times I tried them, and it'll say it was one thing, and then I swap it out and find it don't fix it, and you swap something else out and it says it works. So very hit and miss, to be honest with you. There might be some better ones out there now, but I haven't used them in a long time, to be honest with you. So
it was early 2000s when I was using them.
Yeah, we've got HD clone being recommended by looks like Richard Creedy. Does anyone else use any cloning software? Do you use anything specific like Acronis or?
Yeah, I use Acronis or Macron.
Yeah.
Blue Bolt uses an electric air duster, and I'm with him on that.
Yeah.
Those are good to have.
Yeah, we use one called DataVac.
Yeah.
It's absolutely brilliant. I've got one what I keep here, and I've got one I keep in my truck as well. So when I'm going out and about, it's basically having a Hoover in reverse is the best way of putting it. You don't need to fill it with liquid or anything. Just plug it in and away you go. And obviously, don't do it while the PC is on, and hold the fans still inside the machine if you're going to spray them, because you could break the motors on the fans, or potentially even the blades if you get too close, because that thing is powerful. It basically, yes, put a mask on. I've got to go to a job tomorrow, and it's basically a metalworks place, and that place is absolutely filthy. I have to go around every 6 months just to clean the machines, and that's the machines in the office, which is separate to the rest of the building, and they're absolutely filthy. Goggles and mask on to do that job. It's an absolute nightmare, to be honest with you.
We used to have a farmer that would come in from time to time, and I used to hate cleaning his computer because it was outside in the elements and everything, barn, and it had sucked in all sorts of goodnesses. And I would put on a mask before COVID even was thought of, and and a eye mask over that, and put my hair up in a do-rag like you'd wear on a motorcycle. Yeah, I was well protected. And then I'd go outside with it because I didn't want the contents to fly in the store. So yeah, it's seen me through some really hard times that computer back has.
Yeah, I've got a good one with 2 settings on it, and it's setting one's powerful enough. I used to have hair actually until I bought it, and it just blew it right off.
That's crazy. One tip: if you do get one of those data vacs and stuff, do clean out the filter on the bottom, because you can blow them up by bunging up. They get bunged up pretty quickly because obviously you're blowing it and then it's sucking fresh air in, so it sucks in the dust, and then the filter gets bunged up and then it'll overheat and so forth. So make sure after every job you clean that out. Right, I think we're slightly past the hour. I think we started a fraction late due to technical issues, but is there anything else you'd like to add quickly, Will, before we end the show?
No, I think we probably covered most of the things that we use. It's one of these things that you go for a tool and then you forget about, I've got that one there, and you could use it at different things. But most of the big ones like Fabs and things like that, that's the go-to ones. I think we've covered all. And Acronis, for cloning and things like that. Macrom, that's the two I use for that. Yeah.
There we go. So that's pretty good. We've got a few more things going off in chat, guys. Feel free to read them. I'm going to say we don't have time to go through everything I've missed, unfortunately, because there's been quite a few comments tonight. But I think we're going to call it a night there. Before we go, if you are interested in joining the Tech for Tech's Facebook page, you can do. It's basically if you go to Facebook's groups / Tech for Techs, and you'll find us there. Otherwise, you can find the link on our website, which is just techfortechs.co.uk, and click on join. You'll be able to find out information there as well. On top of that, we've got TechMax coming up. Make sure you book. It's right where Will's face should be. You've got a QR code, or you've got the TFT Max website there as well, and that'll take you there. Was there something you wanted to add, Jen?
I was just looking at a comment.
Oh, right. Sorry. That's fine then. Sorry, I thought you wanted to say something. So make sure you obviously sign up for that. Tickets are going quite quick, and we're getting quite a lot of vendors sign up. So it looks like it's potentially going to be a sellout well before the time. The Tech's website there, QR code's at the top left corner if you want to join up. But otherwise, that's pretty much it for the show tonight. But if anyone does want to email us who want to be on the show, want to join up, if you don't know me on Facebook or whatever, you can send me a message on there. If not, obviously, you can email me, which I'll put the email address on the screen there. So basically, it's info@techfortechs.co.uk. You can email there if you're interested in the TechMax, or you just want to be on the show, which obviously we want new people on the show. So if you want to join in, you've got a topic you want to talk about, or if you're a vendor or a distributor and you want to show off your products or services you've got, let's just say, your Eurosoft or EADR. I can see Alison there wanting to talk about new products and services, or some of the distributors like Target, CMS, Spire, VIP, and so forth want to shout out and so forth, then they can. So just send us an email over or give us a call if you know my number, or contact us on Facebook. That's your best thing. But otherwise, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to say thank you to Will for joining us. I'm not going to say thank you to Cormac because, well, he buggered off already. So tough luck that one. But yes, thank you, Will, for joining us tonight.
Yes, thank you very much.
And thank you for everyone who has watched tonight as well. And I'm going to leave you this for your final thoughts. Can you go and meet hundreds of people just like you, strengthen existing relationships and forge new ones with vendors and distributors, and meet some of the biggest names in the industry, where you can go and see the newest tech and services that you need to make your IT business grow. And there'll be thousands of pounds worth of prizes up for grabs. Then what's more, you'll get that for a quid. TechMax 2023 will be on the 23rd of June at Magna Adventure and Science Centre near Meadowhall in Sheffield. This event will be over 4 times larger than last year's event, and this year's event will incorporate a live tech awards, dedicated meeting rooms, demo and interactive areas, and up to 800 other techs just like you. Get registered now at tftmax.com.